Okay, this is part 2 in finding the volume of pyramids and cones. And just as a quick review, both of those 3D figures, pyramids and cones, have one base. And they also both they come to a point. That point is a vertex in space. And so we can find the volume of pyramids and cones the same way. And we do that by taking 1/3 area of the base, which you'll see noted as big B, times H. So whatever that base is, you're going to take the area of the base times the height. Now, something you do want to keep in mind, the height is always at a 90-degree angle. So another word for that is altitude. We have used the slant height when we find the surface area of the cone, but that's really the only time that you're going to use the slant height in an actual formula. You may use the slant height to find the true height, the altitude height at a 90 degree, but just make sure that your height is your 90-degree altitude when you are looking at this formula. So let's look at finding the volume of a cone. It tells us that our diameter is 18, so I'm going to label that. And it tells us that the altitude, so this one is not really to scale, but the altitude is 8 meters. And so that's at, of course, a 90-degree angle. So when we go to find the volume here, you're going to do 1/3 area of the base, which is that big B. So in this case, what is the base? Well, if you want to highlight it, just to help you remember, you're doing the area of a circle. So we're going to do 1/3 area of the circle times the height of that cone. Well, how do I find the area of a circle? We've been doing that, so that's 1/3 times pi r squared. Well, in this case, what is the radius? If the diameter is 18, the radius would be half of that, so it would be 9. And then what is the height of the cone? Well, it told us that the height is 8. So now I just have to simplify this. So when I do the area of the base, of course that's the circle, that's your 81 pi. So if you were just finding the area of a circle, you would have 81 pi. That's your two-dimensional area, but then we also have to multiply by the height, and so that's your 8. And keep in mind a cone, since it comes to a point, it's only taking up 1/3 of that space. That, let's say, if you could visualize a cylinder, I'll try to just sketch one in. Say you had a cylinder with the exact same size base, you can kind of visualize that that cone takes up 1/3 of that space. And so now when I do 1/3 times 81 times 8, and if I wanted to leave my answer in terms of pi, I would get 216 pi. That's an exact answer. I do need a label. It was meters. Since it's volume, I'm going to do meters cubed, since volume is 3D space.